An extremely well-kept Winnebago Access with about 19,000 rounds on her just landed here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Beautiful rig. Basically, the folks just decided that this style of motorized life just wasn't exactly the right fit for them. They did some swapping around. But overall, I can't really find anything on this that concerns me. The generator, holy crap, did that fire up and run like a champ. I mean, really, tip to tail, she's in A shape. The skin looks great. I'm not really seeing any signs of peeling or fading or anything like that. The tires were replaced about 10,000 miles ago and look pretty darn good. So overall, I think if what you're seeking is a nice sort of late model rig, but you don't want to pay the new RV price tag, this is gonna be a winner. Like most motorhomes, when the slide is closed, or slides as it were, this will maintain a very functional level of access while you're heading down the road or if you make a travel stop. And really, that's because that's just a key difference between a motorhome and a towable RV. You're literally in the thing going down the road, so they assume you want to be able to navigate the cabin, which makes a lot of sense. But something that not all motorhomes, specifically Class C's more often than Class A's, are guilty of is being able to access the bed in transit. Some Class C's will kind of block this off. Now, when that big closet slide on the left side here is closed, which is where all your storage is going to be for your extended stays and whatnot, it gets a little tight in here. And it's not, I mean, it's kind of, I guess, what you call a corner bed. But the fact is, if you're going down the road and you need to stop and rub some sleep out of your eyes during a long trip, you can get in here. You can access the bed. Although, I don't recommend trying to lie on the bed while you're going down the road. Let's just say that my very first motorhome trip I ever took when I was in high school, I decided I wanted to try to sleep while going down I-75. And when we hit a nice big old bump in the road, because the bed's behind the axles, it catapulted me up. I literally went airborne and jammed my shoulder and decided that I didn't need to sleep that badly. And it's crazy how big of a difference a slide out makes. I tell people all the time, people who have not been in an RV, I actually like to sometimes start with the slide out closed and then let them see it open up. And I tell people all the time, it's gonna sound like something that a salesman would just say, but I swear, for every inch deep a slide out is, it feels like you gain 2 inches in your interior. It's such an incredible difference in the perception of space. Now, all these nice big windows, they certainly don't hurt either. And these do have the nicer night roller shades on them. A couple neat little points, like you can see this is completely carpetless, easy cleaning, supremely pet friendly, even in the slide flooring. Even the slide flooring under the sofa, I actually peeked my head under the sofa, even it is wrapped in lino. So, I mean, this is about as simple and easy to clean and maintain and manage as they come. The countertops, the tabletop, they're all a sealed edge pressed membrane material, and this is what I call a dream dinette. I think that's an old name, actually, that I just kind of, I don't think the industry uses it much anymore, but I've been doing this long enough that I'm becoming old in RV terms, which is, I don't know, maybe my RV experience is finally starting to match my balding hairline. Anyway, enough about my life. So, you can see how there's no pedestal base under that. There's this little gas strut that you can engage or disengage and push the tabletop up or down. Very simple to convert that into or out of a sleeping area. Nice little touch here. It seems like a lot of RVs today, they're leaning toward the side of bigger windows and less storage, and it's hard for me coming from maybe an older mindset. I'm very old for my age, if you will. My age matches my hairline. Anyway, the point I'm making here, all joking aside, is that I struggle to give up storage. I like big windows. I do. They make me feel good. They make me feel happy. I like all that light and brightness, but so often I see people just keep the window shade shut. So I don't know what those big windows are doing for you, but I know that a cabinet is always doing something for you. Pretty simple cab up here, but effective, you know. A lot of Class C's on these 450 chassis, they look just about like this up front. You've got your Jensen sort of all-in-one entertainment, satellite, backup camera, navigation, etc., etc. Driver's area here, nothing too fancy or uncommon. It does look like Winnebago has swapped out the standard Ford factory seats for something a little plush and cushier. We do have both power and heated side mirrors, though, so that is a neat little touch if you are getting up and getting ready to go when it is a little bit chilly. Oop, let me back up a step. I don't want to gloss over something here because not everyone, you know, understands everything about RVs. So sometimes I might share something that's simple for the benefit of a newcomer. And I think we need to welcome those new people into our camping community, not condemn them for their lack of knowledge. So up front here, we've got a, you know, forward overhead bunk area. Now you can see how you can remove that center cushion to turn it from sleeper mode into sort of like daytime mode, which makes it much easier to access the cockpit area here. You can get down to the driver's area with the bunk in place. It's just much easier to do so if the bunk is not in place. I've already kind of looked at everything over here, but I do just want to give you like a nice little you know, pass through the living space. Note too, no heating vents in the floor. Those are all run through the cabinetry. The idea there is that you don't have to have those floor vents where you could potentially step on them or drop debris in them. It is a slightly less, well, actually it's about a 30% less efficient method of heating, but in a smaller cabin space like this, it doesn't matter. It's not enough to make a difference. You can see here in the kitchen, we do have the nice big Max Air vent fan to give you some superior airflow. And you'll find later there is a roof vent cover on that. Now this is something over here that I was not able to really get good shots of in my still photos, and that is that you actually have this additional sort of pantry and or clothing space, since your bunk is right next to it. This is like a little hidden bonus gem right here. There are also all sorts of you know, great drawer space and storage here within the kitchen. And as we go, you're going to see that there was not an ounce of space gone to waste. Because when it comes to storage in an RV, every ounce counts. Those are a pair of RV Nerdism number 37s that you can write down and take home. I mean, if I kneel down here, you can see that that storage space under the sink even goes all the way back there. Now that little basket of cleanser type stuff the folks left behind, you could slide that up on that shelf. There's room here for a little wastebasket if you're so inclined. And anytime that there's drawers right next to the kitchen area, that's a good thing. Now, this countertop concept normally would give you quite limited prep space, but they gave you a very large and reinforced countertop extension here. And what's nice, I know from personal experience about 5 seconds ago, if you leave that thing sticking out and you walk into the trailer, there's a very good chance that you won't clock your head on it. I found out only because it grazed my ear because I forgot I left the thing there. So the fact is, even with that counter extension open, you can still get in and out of the coach. Up here, because this RV is 7 foot tall on the main living cabin, you do have great overhead storage, and that looks to be about an 8 cubic foot fridge freezer. And as we come down here below the stovetop and the fridge, you can see they gave you a pair of nice large drawers, because once again, there's no such thing as too much storage in an RV. Now, if we swing over here to entertainment, there's a couple things going on. Like there's this handy little TV antenna DVD selector system here, which is something of a bit of a relic in the RV industry, I think, that as more and more devices become smart devices, things like this, you know, the cut the cord movement, as it were. Like at my house, we got rid of our cable box. We have a smart TV and a Wi-Fi router, and it's so nice because I don't have to have wires strung all over the place, and I love it. But you do have a Sony DVD player right there. Then when you come up, you got your HD TV. But something that I noticed that was very easy to miss is this is a Roku TV. And if you don't know what that means, guys, this is a smart TV that if you want to, you can launch services like Hulu, like Netflix, like any of those things, and you can do those right from the TV, assuming it has some level of reliable data internet connection. Now that is the catch-22 of the RV business, is that very often a lot of parks have, frankly, pretty crappy Wi-Fi. And the hiccup with devices and streaming media is that it eats up a lot of bandwidth in a location where there are a lot of people. Whoa, come on, camera, what are you doing here? It's got ADHD in it, lost focus. All right, pardon me, guys, I gotta do a little dance. A little love, get down tonight. There we go, okay. But my point is, a lot of campgrounds have crappy internet. So, when you have a bunch of people together and the internet's already not great to begin with, it can make streaming media difficult. Thankfully, more and more mobile data friendly services and things are out there, but man, it can be very regional. Great bathroom here. I like the riser that the toilet's on, a little greater and easier for people with, say, knee, hip challenges. And great counter space and a nice drawer right there next to the sink area. Now, the bathroom is very basic. Like, I'm actually very surprised at how basic the sink and the vanity setup is, but also it's still pretty. It still looks good. Now we've got, of course, just a, you know, simple walk-through middle shower over here, and there is a privacy according wall curtain right there, so if you do want to close that off and you use that door, as I have done right here, you do have a private middle bathroom. Now, back here in the bedroom, that is not a smart TV like your main living room is. I just want to point that out, but not coincidentally, I believe, the product designers left a nice little shelf right there for entertainment purposes. Now, you got good drawer space in here. These are also all very deep. Plus, within the slide itself, you've got additional dresser drawer space there and a full 4-door closet for those extended trips. So when you want that extra storage, you have it. Meanwhile, if you notice, especially over here by this big side stand, that super CPAP-friendly side stand, we've got a nice cross breeze window. We've got a huge window in the back that can open for airflow. We've got another window over here. This bedroom always feels nice and spacious and open and airy. And one of the things that I should have mentioned sooner but didn't is this does have one of those nicer soft touch ceiling liners, so that this will keep the RV quieter in transit and you'll hear less neighbor noise when you reach your destination. Back outside here, everything's still looking good, just about like it did a few minutes ago when we started out. Power awning, runs like a champ. We are on a Ford E450 chassis with a Triton V10 power plant, which is the single most common combination of you know, chassis and engine in the motorhome business. That's good news for you, because the whole idea behind this motorhome is that you get out and about and you travel. Well, hypothetically, God forbid something did happen, the fact that it's on that Ford chassis with that Ford power plant means that there are more service centers for you to have work done while on the road for an unexpected occurrence than any other rig. That being said, I don't think you should necessarily purchase an RV based specifically on that fact, but it is a nice little peace of mind, you know, aligning to every cloud, I guess you could say. You might have noticed how both awnings do have protected slide covers. There are MaxxAir vents on the roof covers. We'll get up there and take a peek at that. Well, at least there is one over the bathroom. Windows naturally are tinted to give you, you know, good privacy and protection from excess heat from the sun. Michelin tires, like I said, replaced about 10,000 miles ago, and they look good. I mean, there is a lot of rubber left on those sneakers. I'm actually kind of curious as to why they may have replaced the original tires when they would have only had about 10,000 miles on them themselves. Maybe they just didn't like the ride of them, or maybe they caught some debris on the road. I'm not sure. I've looked under the belly to see if they had a flat tire that caused any damage, and that doesn't appear to be the case. So they must have just not liked how the tires handled and wanted something with a little stiffer sidewall. That's all theory and conjecture, but it would make sense. Naturally, of course, we've got our automatic in-motion backup camera there. This would be rated to tow 5,000 pounds, as is pretty traditional on this, you know, chassis combination. I do like those big taillights, though. That's a nice safety item a lot of people don't necessarily always consider. Those big taillights, when you hit the brakes, it gives people behind you a bigger target for their eyes to see, to know that you are stopping. This bedroom slide, you might not have noticed it inside, but it's a funky little, like, L-shaped. It's kind of, what is that, sort of like Utah, like Nevada, something like that. But it gives you that extra dresser space in the bedroom. Now, I really like what they did at this big outside storage compartment right here. You can get to it from the back or the side like I'm doing, but you can see how there's a couple little outdoor utility tables that come right with this thing, and they fold right down into their own little handy storage area, so that you can really pack a ton of cargo in there, and then once everything's unloaded, pop your table out, good to go. Pretty slick. Now this has, as compared to something like a Jayco Greyhawk, this has the, I call it like bucket style entry step. I think a lot of Coachman Sunseeker type stuff is very similar to that. The idea is that it's one less mechanical item that can potentially fail. The only hiccup with that design right there is it does mean that the step well goes a little further into the body of the coach. In theory, it is theoretically more possible for you to accidentally step into the step well and roll an ankle or fall or something like that. That being said, I've never really heard that to be a consistent problem, so I believe that's an issue more of theoretical concern than practical concern. And not surprisingly, the roof looks pretty darn good. You can see over the bathroom how you got that big MaxxAir vent fan. All the original seals are still present, and all of those original factory seals are still in great shape. When they put this one together out there in Iowa, they did a darn good job. And above the living area, I wasn't sure about that at the ground level, so I didn't want to speak out of turn, but it looks like they do have a max air vent cover here. And you see that manta ray looking thing? If you're not familiar, that's your HD antenna, but what's nice is you don't have to crank the thing up and down. Just point it the direction you want it to go, and you're done. So other than that, I mean, that little sticker right there, by the way, if you do decide to put a satellite system up here, that's your satellite prep. It tells you, hey, there's coax wire under here, and this is where you would hook into it. So it is satellite ready for those who are looking to do a little bit of that style traveling. Overall, this thing's solid. I mean, I am not seeing anything that I really dislike about it, other than the fact that it's in my driveway instead of yours. But hey, a quick phone call from viewers like you can, you know, fix that lickety-split. So, whether it's pieces, parts, financing, hitching, truck and trailer package deals, tow bars, anything and everything, guys, we are a simple, easy one-stop operation right here. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.